Can a coach help you make 6 or 7 figures even if they themselves have not hit those numbers?
So the answer is it depends on what the block is for the person.
Yeah.
So if the problem that they're having is marketing and you suck at marketing, then no, you're not going to help them with it. If the problem is their lack of confidence and you're great at teaching confidence, then yeah, you can help them. If the problem is their relationship and you're a relationship coach, then yeah, you can help them. Right? Like you're looking at the end result as opposed to what the problem is. So there's many things that are the block. Like what is the actual block and are you the person who can solve it? And by the same token, just because you've gotten there doesn't mean that you can then coach people. There's lots of people who know how to get results for themselves, but suck at being able to coach other people and how to do it. Ted Williams was he was a great hitter, but not a great manager.
Right.
And that happens a lot over and over and over again. Like a lot of people struggle with this in business as they could be the best salesperson or the best programmer or the best whatever. They know how to get results, but then you put them in charge of a team and they hate it because they don't know how to teach other people and they don't even want to. So what's the block? Like you're looking at the end result, getting 6 figures, great. What's the block? What's the problem in the recipe?
Well, that's a good answer. Wow. That's a very good answer.
And then that's where they need the coaching. So could you? Well, it depends, right?
If you have the skill set.
Well, it depends what the block is. What do they need the most help with? Like, why are they not there? What's the problem? And are you the coach who can help them with the problem?
That's good.
So if somebody's coming to you and their problem is confidence, then yes, you can help them, even though you haven't done it, because they might be kick-ass at all the other stuff that you're not good at, but they need help with the confidence. If their problem is selling or the problem is marketing, you can just give general advice, but you haven't done it. So it's going to be hard for them to actually get results from it.
Right. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. What a great answer.
Yeah,
Okay.
It just depends on what the block is.
What do you say, Drew?
I concur with Evan. Well, I was gonna say, like, how many NFL coaches were actually really good at the sport themselves?
Right, because, yeah, and they still lead people to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And there was a mediocre linebacker or a mediocre quarterback, but their leadership skills was able to lead them to like Vince Lombardi. Everybody know about Vince Lombardi. He never played in the NFL, but he won so many championships being the Green Bay's head coach.
Yeah, and one of the key things is strategy. Like one of the biggest problems is strategy. So in baseball, why are the catchers always the coaches? You look at how many catchers become coaches is the highest percentage of position players who become coaches is catchers. Why? Because they're used to calling the game. Because they're calling every play already from behind, right? They already know everything. So they have the strategy. It's very rarely a lack of, athletics.
Mindset.
Mindset's becoming more and more important. Like I think mindset would be something that if you went 30 years back, they'd say that's garbage. And now everybody's got the mindset coach on their team. Everybody's got a longevity coach on their team. Everybody's got the data and quantitative analysis people on their team.
Great answer. Because I think Phil Jackson was a mediocre player, but look how many championships he won with Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls and Greg Popovich. I think San Antonio Spurs. I think they won 5 championships, and he never played in the NBA. And even the guy from Miami Heat. I don't know how to say his last name, but
Pat Riley?
Not Pat Riley, but Eric Spoelstra, something like that.
Oh, I don't
That
know.
he helped Dwayne Wade, and when LeBron James joined the tem, they won championships, and he never played in the NBA before.
Okay, so there's a great story with oh my God, the Zen Master. What's his real name again?
Zen Master.
The Bulls coach. You just said it.
Oh, yeah, Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. I just know him as the Zen Master.
Right.
So Phil Jackson. So we did a top 10 on Kobe, and he was talking about Phil Knight. Jesus Christ, Phil Jackson. And when Shaq went down, right? Like Shaq and Kobe both wanted the ball. They both wanted to be the stars. They both thought they were, the best. They both wanted to be in the late situation. And there was a time when one of their runs where Shaq went down. And then Kobe starts going on a crazy streak. I think it was like 40 points in a game or something.
Right.
I think that's what the streak was. And they started winning. Just like give Kobe the ball, they start winning. They go on this crazy streak. Kobe's hitting his 40 games, and near the end of the streak, Shaq comes back. So Shaq's healthy again. He's coming back. And Kobe's on the edge of breaking the record. He's about to break the record for the most number of games with 40-plus points.
Right.
And before the game, the Zen Master sits him down and says, hey, you got to not score 40 tonight.
Wow.
Not score 40? He's like, yeah, we're losing the big guy. We're losing the big guy. You got to not score 40 today. And, Kobe, the competitor and all that, like, hated it. Like, what are you talking about? But he did it. He did it for the team.
For the team, yeah.
He did it right? He did it so that they didn't lose Shaq. Because what mattered wasn't his point streak. What mattered was, are they around come playoffs and they need to win?
Right.
So, like, that's coaching. Phil Jackson's not going in telling Shaq how to do a free throw, because Shaq couldn't do a free throw, right?
Well,
like,
also,
but hold on. It's also the difference between like the head coach and the positional coach.
Okay, that's very good. Good point.
Right? Like you can have somebody come in and teach somebody how to do free throws,
right?
But that's not head coach, because you're not really teaching the skill. You're teaching the human. And you're making these humans work together.
Right. Because even in football, they have quarterback coaches, strictly for the quarterback. They have defensive line coaches. They have specific coaches for specific things.
So like, could you say, well, could the quarterback coach give us a championship?
No.
Well, maybe. Like, if the problem is the quarterback and he doesn't know how to throw a spiral,
oh boy,
then we have maybe bigger problems. But right, like what's the biggest problem on the team? And maybe it's the quarterback, and maybe having that positional coach is the answer to is the unlock, or maybe not.
It's just a really good answer, because I couldn't think. That's why I was stuck. I'm not stuck anymore based on your answer. Because even the old example about teachers, I remember Tony Robbins talked about this many years ago, about who do you take advice from when it comes to investing? Why would I take advice when I'm making $1 million? Why would I take advice from a guy who's making $40,000 on the stock market? So, but even like, well, back to our original question, teachers and professors, they talk about them being a perfect example. They know how to teach us how to be successful in life, but they make less than 6 or 7 figures on their own achievements. They can teach you the lesson, but they're not doing it themselves.
Again, it depends on what the problem is, right? Like the problem, if you're a day trader and you're losing a whole bunch of money, what's the reason why? Maybe it's because all you're doing is thinking about your relationship with your wife, and that's stressing you out and making you make emotional decisions when you should be more following the numbers, right? Yeah. So a relationship coach, can a relationship coach help you get 7 figures? Yep.